Dear Marshall, this year we are gathering at history, a period of great social upheaval, in which the most disadvantaged suffer the most. Thus, your commitment to the most disadvantaged, addressing social disparities, is ever more vital. This is also a period of much disinformation and wide disagreement about what should be done. As people in positions of power at all levels need to be reinforced in their commitment to seek the most relevant and accurate information as the basis for their actions. All of this means that today, the role of the Institute was never more critical. But beyond reinforcing the commitment to seek relevant information, your emphasis on professional excellence is the real key, as embodied in the awards that we're giving today, to maximizing the contribution. So Marshall, I really cherish the annual opportunity to celebrate excellence, to celebrate the unique bond between you and the Institute. Send you my best wishes.
Marshall, it's that time of year again, and today we're having the annual Jack Habib Prize for Excellence ceremony. It's a little different this year because we'll be doing it by Zoom, but we think of you this year as we do every year. This has become one of the best traditions that you have allowed us to establish here at the Institute. This is the time of year when we can recognize excellence in our employees and say thank you to the women and to the men that make the work that we do here so impactful and so significant. This year's recipient is Hila Rimon Greenspan. She's been with the Institute for just over 2 years, and she is a research associate on the Disabilities Team. And believe me, Marshall, she's excellent. She does beautiful work, and she's always concentrating on the most important issues for people with disabilities. And thanks to you, we get to display that excellence for the entire Institute. So I want you to know that you're supporting the most impactful work that we can do, and thanks to you, we're able to showcase it and to show everyone here at Brookdale the example that we expect of them. Thank you.
Mr. Weinberg, my name is Hila Rimon Greenspan, and I am a researcher on the Disabilities Team at the Myers-JDC-Brookdale Institute. I have been living in Jerusalem for the past 9 years. I am married and have 3 wonderful children, and my husband is a professor of social work at the Hebrew University. I joined the Myers-JDC-Brookdale Institute on December 3rd, 2018. Coincidentally, but also quite symbolically, it is the day we celebrate the International Day of Equality for People with Disabilities. After high school and before my military service, I took a gap year and worked in a youth movement. During that year, I also volunteered with a young boy, Nathaniel. He was visually impaired and came from a very poor family. Each week, I took Nathaniel to a special developmental center in a different city. We really bonded. A few years later, I went to study at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem for my undergraduate degree in sociology. When I came across a job opportunity at the Learning Center for Blind and Visually Impaired Students, I knew I had to take it because of that boy, even though I already had another job. I worked there throughout most of my undergraduate studies. After graduating, I moved to Toronto with my husband and spent 4 years there. By then, I had already developed a deep interest in the field of disability, as well as a firm commitment to disability rights and equality. I completed my master's degree in disability studies at York University. Disability studies is an interdisciplinary field of study that spans social sciences, humanities, and law. and examines disability in many aspects of society. I joined the scattergroup program for applied ethics of behavioral healthcare. It is based in the Department of Medical Ethics and Health Policy at the University of Pennsylvania. It mainly focuses on mental health ethics. I served as the program and research coordinator for 5 years. After moving back to Israel, I worked as a researcher for Bizchut, the Human Rights Center for People with Disabilities. Bizchut is the main advocacy organization that advances disability rights in Israel. After 3 years in Bizchut, I worked as a freelance disability researcher for a few more years before joining the Myers-JDC-Brookdale Institute. My research at the Myers-JDC-Brookdale Institute has been focused on significant reforms to allow people with disability more autonomy in their lives. One is supported decision-making, an alternative for guardianship. Another is an evaluation of a preliminary pilot program of personal budget as a means for providing services to allow people more choice in determining the supports they will receive and the lives they will live. Another project is evaluating the new Disabilities Administration at the Ministry of Welfare, which is a significant organizational reform at the ministry, which aims to improve the services of people with disabilities in Israel. On top of the research work, I am leading an initiative to establish a database on disability studies focused on Israel. This will be a first-of-its-kind database of disability studies, both in Israel and beyond. The database is a collaboration led by Myers-JDC-Brookdale Institute, together with the Center for Disability Studies at the Hebrew University and the International Center for Health Law and Bioethics at Haifa University. In addition to my work at Myers-JDC-Brookdale Institute, I'm a co-founder and co-manager of the Israeli Disability Studies Network for the past 14 years. It is an informal forum with membership of more than 500 academics, activists, and professionals. It aims to advance the field of disability studies in Israel. And today, it serves as the main knowledge community in the field of disability in Israel. I feel that the Myers-JDC-Brookdale Institute provides me with a wonderful professional home and truly amazing colleagues to continue to grow as a researcher and to continue to take part in Tikkun Olam by doing applied disability research. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for your generosity and for sponsoring the Professor Jack Habib Award for Excellence. It is a great honor for me to be this year's recipient, and I feel truly humbled by the occasion. I see it as a tribute not only to my own efforts, but to the entire disability research team in our work to improve the lives and quality of people with disability in Israel through research and through knowledge. Thank you.